Welcome to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast, where we provide constant improvement to businesses through timely, actionable financial solutions. Do you want answers to your financial questions? Email us at bsp@kaizencpas.com. I'm your host, Mark Valesky. Now let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Kaizen Time. I'm joined by Pierre, a senior manager, the most senior manager at Kaizen CPAs. Good to see you. Good to have you back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, Mark, since I've seen you. And how have you been? Good?
Yeah. I mean, I've been busy, and but I will tell you, I'm doing a lot better than the IRS is.
That's
and
for sure.
will be. But the IRS is changing, and what's this? They don't accept paper anymore?
So as of September 30th, no more paper checks.
September 30th
of 2025. So it's already past that time by the time this comes out.
You know, I sent them a paper check. Before then,
that's okay.
Will double check that.
Yes.
September what?
September 30th.
Yeah. Okay.
So what that means is it's no paper checks both directions.
Whoa,
so no more refunds anymore coming in a paper check. And the reason they're doing this is because they think it's more secure. They think it will be more efficient and cost effective for them to manage this activity. And I do believe there's some sense of that, but I'm not quite sure because of the paper checks that they used to send out. People were always afraid, or there was some concern that people would watch for when those checks would come out. They'd come out in big chunks at a time, and people would go around and steal those checks out of people's mailboxes and doctor them up and cash them. That's the big real risk of that. But now there's talking about instead of a paper check, you either need to use direct deposit or they're going to send you a prepaid debit card. What's easier to steal than a prepaid debit card? So we'll see how that goes. I don't want my $8,000 refund coming through on a debit card, because then my fear would I would go right to Cabela's and buy a boat or something. So,
but isn't that what the IRS wants? They want you to get that right back in the economy.
They want it right in the economy. Yes.
Take that card, hit up Cabela's. See you next year.
The biggest thing is to try to protect yourself from having exposure. And a lot of people they want the paper check because they've always thought that I don't want to tell the government my banking account information. And I assure you,
they already know.
They can get that information.
Super know.
All they have to do is go to your bank and say, hey, bank, we need this account. And they'll say, well, no, we're not Switzerland, but we're not going to give it to you. And they say, oh, guess what? We're going to audit you next week. And they will immediately hand over your number. So there's no protection there. You're not hiding from the government, and it is more secure than a paper check going through the mail. And it's also a lot faster too. So I think that's a good thing on their side.
So kind of the long and short of it is direct deposit pretty much is the best way.
Correct.
Across the board. It is the safest because no one's going in your mailbox.
Yep.
You're not going to lose your debit card. It's just in and you're done.
Yeah, I do fear that people will hunt for the debit cards. It's very easy to tell where those are in an envelope, even more so than a check.
Even then, even if it isn't a nefarious thing, I get these debit cards in the mail all the time. Like, oh, hey, look. And I'm like, junk.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is toss that away.
Not only that, a lot of times they will have a code that you have to put in. I don't know how it's going to work. A code that you have to put in, or if you don't use it after a while, you think I'm going to save this for a while. There might be fees associated with it, and it could get eaten away.
Yep.
So direct deposit is the most secure way to go.
Yep. Okay. So they're stepping away from paper, and so we talked about sending them stuff. How do we send them money then? Because sometimes we owe we have to do pre-tax and all that stuff for businesses.
Yeah, so the other side of the coin is sending stuff into the IRS. And again, same thing. They don't want checks to get caught in the mail or delayed coming through. People say, oh, I mail my check in so I can get that float of those 3 days or whatever. I do know sometimes the IRS will take your check a little early, but it's usually about the same time. I don't know how much your tax bill is that you're going to save that float time. You can target it to go out very close to the deadline. And this way, when you do electronically, as long as you have the funds in there, you avoid penalties or any interest that they might have if a check were delayed going through the mail. That being said, setting up an account with the IRS is very easy to do. And there's a number of ways you can do it. You can go direct pay to the IRS. You just go to irs.gov and you say, I want to make a payment. The trick here is you have to make the payment to the right tax. So
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, you mentioned
you could screw this up royally.
You have estimates that you could have due. Yep. You have a balance due with the current year tax return. You have next year's estimates that you might be paying. And on top of that, you might also have a payment for a penalty for something you didn't pay in the past. It is a very easy system, but you can get bogged down they have a drop-down box. And if you click the wrong drop-down box and say, I'm paying 2024 for 2025, they will apply it to the wrong place. And while they'll take your money, you might have to spend some more time trying to figure out where the right place for that to go. But pretty straightforward.
Well, and the thing is, getting things corrected is very difficult at the IRS because there are less of them.
There's definitely less of them. And as you alluded to, the shutdown that started October 1st. Okay. At this time, we don't know when that shutdown is going to end, but that's going to just delay everything else. So on top of them having less employees, they're also going to have more of a mess to clean up at that time. So very easy. You can also establish an e-services account. You can get a My ID with the IRS, and that gives you a direct link with your IRS account. You have to prove who you are, and you can set up that account directly also at irs.gov, and that will give you better access to track where your funds are. You can also respond to things in there, and you can see an update as to where your tax return is. So it's a very good thing to get that set up. But a lot of people, I don't want the government to know. Again, the government will know, but you don't have to use that. You can go right to direct pay. And direct pay, I believe you can use a credit card or you can use your bank account. Credit card, they might charge you a fee to do that processing, but direct pay comes right out of your bank account, no fee for it. Okay. That being said, make sure you have the funds in that account and make sure one of the biggest things we have coming up is our estimates for this year. This change took place in the middle of the summer, and they said October 1st, or September 30th, we're no longer going to accept it. So people have their fourth quarter estimates that are due. And if you set it up to go electronically, no problem. But if you have been paying paper check all year long, just like Mark has, the December or the January 15th, December for businesses or January 15th payment, you can no longer send in with a paper check. So get ready to either do direct pay or set up an ID account. With your business, you can also set up EFTPS to make your payments. EFTPS is a direct payment program that businesses use. You probably already have it set up for your payroll, but business checking accounts and business taxes sometimes are a little larger because your payroll, if you're doing withholding for people, your payroll withholding for all your 25 employees could be a significant number. So you might have that set up already. So 3 ways to get your checks in. You just cannot do a paper check.
Okay. So long story short is that I owe something for my business. I can either direct pay and then I can EFTPS. Yep. And then the electronic something.
If you go to e-services, you can make payments directly that way.
Okay.
And the business one has been that way for a while. They want you to do direct deposit or EFTPS for payroll.
Now, because a lot of these are sole proprietors or LLCs. Yeah. Those for your business, it really doesn't matter because it's technically just going to come from you anyway.
Correct.
Okay.
So one of the things people are afraid of is I owe $5,000, but I only have $2,000. Make that $2,000 payment and then remind yourself to make another $2,000 payment a little bit later. Some people say, I don't have $5,000, so I'm going to make none. And that can really bite you down the road. If you can make any payment is better than no payment.
So what I'm hearing is the IRS gives you points for trying.
Well, they'll give you credit. So there'll be less penalties, less interest if you make some payment, which brings me to that furlough again. If people are furloughed, there's going to be a lot of delay in getting things processed. If you can make any payments to lower your overall bill, it's a lot better than waiting for them to come and catch you.
Yeah. And the consequences when they do come and get you, which they will
Eventually, yeah. It may be down the road. But if you can make, it's always easier. That's why we have withholding on our W-2s. Because it's a lot easier to pay a little bit out of each paycheck than to wait till you get your bill with your tax return and have to pay a large chunk.
Perfect.
That's how people get in trouble there.
Anything else you want to add to this whole paper check thing?
So the paper check thing, it is easier. Don't be afraid of it. It is the way things are going. It is more secure, and they already have your checking account number. Do not think you're giving them any information that they can't get otherwise.
And to basically sum that all up too is it's already happening. So you're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Go set up your account or your direct pay. You need it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Pierre.
Very good.
You've been listening to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a 5-star review. This podcast has been brought to you by Kaizen CPAs Plus Advisors, providing advisory and accounting services to help you grow your business. Learn more at kaizencpas.com or email us at bsb@kaizencpas.com.